Hey everyone, welcome to the Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker HD walkthrough. In this chapter we will be covering the first dungeon of the game, Dragon Roost Cavern, as well as some side quests, getting to the first island and getting to Dragon Roost, the island, and on Dragon Roost itself. So, as you can see, where you're going, it's pretty easy to tell. You're gonna head to the east, which is the way the wind's blowing anyways, so you kinda have to go that way with your sail. And you can see Dragon Roost in the distance. So a couple things about sailing. So like I said in the last chapter, press A to pull your sail out. This is different than in the GameCube version. In the GameCube version you have to equip your sail to one of your 3 buttons. Also, you can press ZR to jump, and while you're jumping, if you turn the control stick, you can make a tight turn. So what I was showing just before is the map screen. In this game, each little tile on the map has its own island, so keep that in mind as you're going. We'll be able to map out all of these islands eventually, so keep that in mind. But there is one island in between here and our destination. As you saw, there was one tile in between here and our destination, so we're gonna stop here. This is Paw Print Isle, and there's a couple things we can do here. You want to head up on the top part where you see this big dome, and cut the grass in front of the dome to reveal a little hole that you can crawl through. And sometimes it's kind of hard to find the hole, but yeah, once you find it, you can crawl through it. And then once you're inside the dome, there's another hole you can fall through. So go ahead and do that. So this is the first secret cave we'll be exploring. In here there's a new enemy, the red Choo-Choo. So the red Choo-Choo can be found here in Paw Print Isle. Later it can be found on Outset. It can be found in almost every main dungeon. There are 5 different variations of Choo-Choos. So there's red, green, yellow, purple, and blue. The red Choo-Choo has a spoil item of red Choo Jelly, which you just saw me pick up. So the Choo Jelly can be used to make a red potion later in the game. So collect as much as you want. You can get some free red potion if you collect it. So then you want to head down the hallway on your right as you come through the first entrance. And down here there's some more red Choo-Choos. And there's a fancy looking chest. So go ahead and open the chest for heart piece number 4. So you should have another heart container by this point, if you've been following the walkthrough up to this point. So that's gonna help quite a bit in this next dungeon. You should be pretty good for this next dungeon now that you have that extra heart. Now you just head back to the entrance, and we can board our ship again. We'll be back to this island later once we have more abilities. But for right now, that's all we can do on the island itself. So once you're back on your boat, you can see that there's another boat out here of these guys wearing submarine masks. Or scuba masks, I guess, and they talk about finding treasure. And this guy in particular, so there are multiple boats like this around the Great Sea, but this guy in particular will give you a treasure chart just for talking to him, so that's pretty nice. He also tells you that you need a grappling hook to bring up treasure, so we don't have a grappling hook yet. He said you can find one on Dragon Roost Island, so that's where we're going. So we'll be able to get treasure pretty soon. And this treasure chart is treasure chart number 34. So. So when you get a new treasure chart, you can go to your map screen and then over to the left side of the screen. Make sure you open it right away, because it won't be revealed to you unless you open the chart. So you can't pick up the treasure unless you open the chart. So, and like I said, I will be getting as many of these along the way as come up. So that's just something to keep in mind for the walkthrough. At the end of the walkthrough, I will have a treasure chart guide, which will go through them in sequential order, not chronological order. So in case you're missing just one, but that won't be for a while. So also, you can see there is some pillar up there in the sky. You can go there and defeat the bokoblins, I think for a spoil item maybe. I'm not sure if there's a reward for doing that quite yet, but I'm not going to do that just yet. And then you can head, keep heading east towards Dragon Roost Island, which is the only way to go. Once you get close enough, you'll be able to see the dragon on top, and that dragon is Valu. He's the guardian dragon over here. We'll learn more about him. But as you can see and hear, this island has some pretty good music, and it's got a cool design. This is one of my favorite islands in the game, actually. I think it's a lot of people's favorite, but it's a cool island for your first time out here. It works well. Anyways, we're gonna get a new item here from the King of Red Lions. He's gonna give us the Wind Waker. Yeah, this is what the game is. What the game is based on. So we can't do much with it yet, but just do the tutorial. The first one is up, down, right, and remember you can hold the buttons. You don't have to time it perfectly. So just hold them until you get the note and then move it down. Yeah, the first time I played this game, I thought you had to time it perfectly with the center, and I was stuck on that for a long time. But no, you can just hold the direction you want to go for the next note. So you can conduct in 3/4 time, 4/4 time, and 6/4 time by moving the left stick. And in the Wind Waker version, in the Wii U version, you access the Wind Waker by pressing up on the D-pad. The GameCube version, you have to equip it. Anyways, if you haven't done so already, buy a Hyoi pear, however you pronounce it, from Beetle's shop ship here. There's one on this island, so don't worry if you haven't gotten it yet. But grab a Hyoi pear, and we're gonna take control of one of the seagulls here. So go around by the little pond and use the Hyoi pear. I bought one in the first chapter of this walkthrough. And a seagull will come and take it, and you'll be able to control him. So then tilt the left stick down so that your seagull will go up, and you want to hit one of these bomb flowers on the wall here. That will cause a chain reaction, and it's alright if you lose control of the seagull, to blow up one of the rocks on top, which will reveal a treasure chest. This treasure chest has 200 rupees in it, so you should definitely, by this point in the game, have enough rupees for what we want to do in the next chapter. So, in fact, you should be close. By the end of this chapter, you should be maxed out on rupees, if you've been following the walkthrough thus far. So then you can go ahead and continue along this path, bombing the rocks. Most of them have a yellow rupee under them, which are 10 rupees themselves. So as you can see, I mean, I did get an extra 100 rupees from the mini game in Windfall that I wasn't expecting to get. So even if you're 100 rupees behind me, by the end of this chapter, you should have 500. So that's pretty nice. We'll be able to get a bunch of good stuff in the next chapter with our rupees. So for this part, you have to throw the bomb flower up to destroy this rock, and for whatever reason I was having a difficult time with that, so I just decided to time it. And then once you're on this ledge, you have to sidle across. Don't worry though, we won't have to do this every time, or we won't have to take this path every time we want to get to where we're going here on Dragon Roost, because up ahead there's a little shortcut that we can create. So another thing to remember is that in this game, A will always throw something, and ZR will always drop it. So unlike in Ocarina of Time, where if you're standing still you'll drop it, and if you're moving you'll throw it, no, A always throws, ZR always drops. So that's something to keep in mind. Anyways, once you bomb that final rock, you can drop down and pull the block to create a little shortcut to get up here. So then you'll meet the postman that we saw on Outside Island. He'll be thankful that you're safe. Once he's done talking, he'll tell you to come into and meet the chieftain. So we'll do that in part B of chapter 2. So just continue following the path and head in the door, and I will see you in part B.